Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode is powered by Perfect Sports Nutrition. Today's video is a preview of the workouts and lessons that you will get at bazookatraining.com. If you like it, head over to the website bazookatraining.com, sign up, and get all these workouts. There's over 300 to learn from. All right, let's get into today's video. Boom! Welcome back to bazookatraining.com here in the home workouts section. Today, we're focusing on one of my favorite styles of fighting, and that is pressure fighting footwork. All right, so let's get right into it. So I today have 4 cones. It doesn't have to be a cone. You could use your gear, gloves, wraps, any object you have at home. But the first step to good pressure fighting is, how do I get my opponent against the ropes? We always start, we touch gloves in the middle of the ring. As a pressure fighter, I want my opponent against the ropes, in the corner. So here's one of the footworks we start with, and it's called the zigzag footwork. So we practice on cutting the angle here and then cutting the other side, all right? So this is a basic style footwork for you to kind of cut somebody off, all right? When I cut this angle, my opponent goes the other way. As I cut this way, they move the other way. So you're able to cut them off. So your zigzag pattern will allow your opponent to move backwards in a straight line, okay? So it's very important. Then we develop the flow, all right? So we're coming through here, and I'm cutting my line, all right? Turn around because we're pressure fighting. If we're working backwards fighting, you can go backwards, but we're cutting that angle moving through. Now, I'm going to give you a front view of this just to show you the angle. When I'm cutting, okay, I don't want my shoulders staying square. That means I'm walking forward. I'm easy to get hit. So when I do cut my angles, right, I need you to put a lead shoulder in front. By having your lead shoulder in front, you're not going to be so square to be hit. At least when you cut your angle, your center line is narrowed. And then from there, you're at least to enter more safely, okay? Sometimes I might even reference the wedge, okay? I might come up with a wedge or using a parry, a frame, a long guard of some sort, okay? So that's the first way I like to practice moving forward, cutting my angles. Now, the second way you can go is using more of a tie hop or a walk step. So I might tie hop or walk step. Now, when I'm pressuring, I can pressure with my high guard, right? See how I step forward? I can high guard pressure with a gallop, okay? Tie hop or walk step. Those are my 3, okay? What do they mean? Tie hop, right? This allows me to close distance with my opponent guessing what I'm doing. It's a good way to close and pressure someone backwards. I can use these walk steps, okay, with my knees up. I can defend things as I come, right? Or I can just use the simple gallop, boom, boom. I can move faster and track my opponent, right? So you have all of these different types of footwork to move forward, okay? Forward pressure. Let's quickly recap before we move to the second round. I can use my zigzag step, okay? Me zigzagging gets my opponent moving back in a straight line. I can use the simple gallop step, moving forward, right? Boom, boom, with my high guard. I can use my tie hops to get in. Here, boom, I can use pressure with my hands, my guard, or I can use my walk steps, okay? All pushing my opponent backwards to the ropes of the corner, okay? So now that we know how to move forward, part of being a pressure fighter, once their backs are against the ropes, you have to keep them there. You have to be able to track them laterally, okay? Not forward anymore. So I have the cones this way. Now, there's different ways to move laterally as a pressure fighter, but the way you move depends on the speed of your opponent. If my opponent's moving slowly, okay, I can use a simple box step. Boom. I can stay in front of them. Okay? Now, this is the simple footwork of the box step, right? If my opponent's going the other direction, my back moves. I'm not crossing. When I'm pressure fighting, I want to keep my hips more square to my opponent. If I end up too narrow here, it's easy for them to escape out that back side. And then I have to turn, and at this point, they've already taken my back and escaped from the corners of the ropes. So that's why this box stepping, keeping my hips more square, is important, okay? Now, just for good references, right, when we pressure fight, if my opponent is moving in this direction, right, as I'm tracking them, I want to throw something to walk them into my strikes. So when I'm box stepping, I can throw a rear hook. My personal favorite, I throw a low kick, right? I can throw a body kick, a head kick. When I move this direction, okay, my opponent's moving here. So I like to throw my hooks, okay? You even see my footwork, right? I step out because I know my opponent's going in this direction. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, okay? You can see how I'm following. I can go 1, 2, see how I can punch and step at the same time, or I can step to the position, then throw. Why I like the cones in this direction is because I like to throw a combination or something in between. I'm going this way. I reach the center cone. I can throw something. I move over here. I throw something again. I step this way. I attack. I move. Okay, you can start seeing now how I use that lateral. Now, that's if someone's moving slow. If someone's moving faster, you can't really move fast with a stance like this. They're going to be gone. So this is when you need to transition to a neutral stance. A neutral stance is basically my feet are side by side. So now look how fast I can move left and right, okay? Now when they get here, I can set my feet, okay? Move my feet, okay? So this is the basic gallop drill you want to work. Now from here, what I like to do is I can step and kick, right, in the direction they're moving. So if they're moving this way, I'll be an orthodox so I can power kick. As I move this way, I'll go into southpaw to be able. If I'm using my punches, what I'll do is the opposite. I'll hook in this side, right? Force them to go this way. I'll circle this way, and then as they get to this side, I transition to orthodox. So I can use my kicking, bang. I can shuffle, use my hooks, my left kicks, you decide. But ultimately, it's how are you moving laterally? Fast, right? Which is the faster neutral, or you're slowly box stepping depending on their speed, okay? Now the final drill, which we're gonna work on, okay, is what I call my T-line drill, okay? This puts everything together. So I'll have the cones up front, and I make the letter T, okay? You can start seeing. Now, what I do here is I have to pressure forward. That was our first round. So I might use the zigzag step, get to the line, which was going to be the ropes, and then I can travel and use my lateral tracking on this side here, okay? I come back to my cone. What I'll do is I'll back up a little bit, and then from here I repeat. But I'm gonna constantly change the way I move forward. This time I might use walking knees and gallops. Cut this direction now. I'll open the door with my punches. This time here, I might come and use my kicks, right? But I'm in the right footwork. If I wanna kick, I'm not going to be on this cone using a right low kick unless they're moving in this direction. You have to visually think. If they're coming this way, I'm going to attack from a southpaw kick or orthodox hook. Same thing here, okay? So using this T-line drills allows you to put all of the concepts of pressure fighting footwork, okay? Remember, moving forward and backwards. I have tie hops, walking step. I have the gallops, but most importantly, the higher level fighters are gonna use that zigzag footwork, okay? Now, once you get to the lateral tracking, you can either use a traditional box step, right? Or we have that neutral stance kind of moving faster as well. So repeating this drill is a very important concept. Whether you're a dynamic, evasive fighter or you're a pressure fighter, learn this type of footwork because to me, it's very important to be able to move forward as well as move backwards, okay? The ability to adapt is one of the most important concepts in martial arts, and it all starts with the footwork, okay? Hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you next time here at bazookatraining.com. Boom. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, one, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website's gonna give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're gonna be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.